Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Force Feed for this Thursday, March 8th. Today we will be discussing new videos for Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Angry Birds Space, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD. A slew of new screenshots for Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, Uncharted 3 getting some co-op DLC, Defenders of Ardania, a new tower defense game coming to Xbox Live and PC, and CD Projekt Red says the DRM is bad and they'll never use it again. New gameplay videos were released today for Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Angry Birds Space, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD. The latest in a series of feature videos for Ghost Recon Future Soldier was released today, yet again featuring former Navy SEAL sniper Mac. In this most recent installment, we get a look at weapon customizations in the game, some of the various options and benefits they will give you. Ghost Recon Future Soldier is coming to the 360 and PS3 on May 22nd, with a PC release later down the road. A new trailer for Angry Birds Space features NASA astronaut Don Pettit talking about space physics. It's also worth noting this was filmed aboard the International Space Station. The last 30 seconds of the video has some actual gameplay footage for those of you interested in this latest Angry Birds installment. If you're half as excited about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD as I am, you'll be pleased to see this latest video where Tony Hawk and Chris Cole show off some footage of the upcoming HD remake of the game. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD will be available on PSN and Xbox Live later this year, hopefully with the original soundtrack. Alright, best video game soundtrack ever. Listen to this stuff. This is amazing. I defy you to name a better soundtrack. Sly Cooper makes his triumphant return this year in Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, and today we get a batch of new screenshots for the game. The new images show off some gameplay, mini-games, and concept art. To take a look at all of the images for yourself, be sure to take a look at the link available below. Uncharted 3 will be getting some new co-op DLC next week, titled Shade Survival Mode. In this mode, you and your friends will be facing off against teleporting Jinn, in a horde-style survival game. Shade Survival Mode will be available on March 13th for $5.99, or for free to Fortune Hunters Club members. The fantasy-based tower defense game Defenders of Ardania will be available next week. In addition to your standard tower construction, players will have to fight back and deploy their own armies against AI opponents or other players online. Defenders of Ardania will be coming to Xbox Live and PC on March 14th. CD Projekt Red, the developer behind the Witcher series, will not be using digital rights management on any of their games from this point forward. Speaking at this year's Game Developers Conference, CD Projekt Red's CEO said, "We release a game, it's cracked in 2 hours. It was no time for The Witcher 2. DRM does not protect your game. If there are examples that it does, then people maybe should consider it, but then there are complications with legit users." Although I still am certainly against piracy, I can understand the argument against DRM. The user experience certainly isn't the greatest, and it actually does very little to combat the issue, which is people playing games without paying for them. Whether or not CD Projekt Red will adopt any other methods of combating piracy is yet to be seen. Of course, there is the argument that if you put out a good product, people will buy the game. However, The Witcher 2 was an amazing game, and it was still pirated like there's no tomorrow. So who really knows? Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the Force Feed. As always, I thank you so much for watching. I want to apologize for the 2-day hiatus. There were some things that came up, and unfortunately we were unable to make the show. However, expect the show to resume as normally scheduled from this point forward. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. Once again, this has been Force, and you've just been Force Fed. No, but seriously? This is amazing. It really is the best soundtrack. I hope I don't get sued for playing this. Mentioning it probably doesn't help my chances either. Why am I bobbing my head like a weirdo? I don't know.